Reverse's failure is not just a story of a game that just didn't live up to its hype. It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of overpromising and underdelivering in the gaming industry. And today we're diving into reasons why Reverse just never stood a chance. Resident Evil is no stranger to failed multiplayer projects, with Resistance, Outbreak, Umbrella Corps, and more failing to become actively played and relevant. And there's even more if you count all the various mobile games and other spin-offs. But Reverse failed for completely different reasons, and for that, we need to go back. Resident Evil Village launched May 2021, and with the purchase of Village, you got the attached standalone game Resident Evil Reverse to celebrate the 25th anniversary. And the game was coming soon, and boy was it. Reverse didn't end up launching until October 2022, more than a year later, well after the hype around the new Resident Evil and Lady D died down. And when I eventually picked up Village during a sale and went to check out Reverse, it was a ghost town. Which leads us to present day, months after it's been taken down from all the storefronts, and there's only a few days left until it shuts down forever. And people are playing again since it's their last chance, and for me, it's my first. And right out the gate, I'll say this game feels pretty bad to play, for a few reasons. And before anyone makes connections saying, oh, this reminds me of Gears or Vision or any other third-person shooter game, there's only one game that's quite literally identical to this, and you're gonna have to hear me out because it's pretty unexpected. GTA 5. In Reverse, your one movement ability is a dodge roll, like GTA 5. In Reverse, every single time you get hit with this crazy knockback animation lock, just like GTA 5, which is a terrible feature, by the way. Please, I don't ever want to see it again. Along with all the walking and shooting and everything, feels very strikingly similar to GTA 5's gameplay. And although GTA 5 does have a PvP pro scene, that's not at all what it's known for or its reason behind its fame. And not to mention, Reverse also shipped with everyone's favorite live service features, cash shop, tons of emotes and whatnot to buy, and everyone's absolute favorite feature, a battle pass. But to be fair, most of the stuff is earnable through in-game currency. And the way the game is set up is a free-for-all. Everyone is one of 11 characters, and they all have different abilities like Leon with a shotgun and kicks, or Ada with a crossbow and trick shots. And when you die in the game, you turn into one of 6 monsters, depending on how much purple juice you collected when you were alive. And those monsters have associated abilities like Nemesis from Resident Evil 3 with a rocket launcher,
Nice try, bitch.
or Lycan from Village with crazy movement. And when you die as a monster, you respawn back as your character, and the cycle repeats, with a heavy point favoritism and kill streaks. And that's exactly what I have to do if I want to finish all the achievements before this game shuts down. I need to win a match on every single main character, so I need to start racking up kill streaks, but that's somewhat difficult to do as a new player with no upgrades or anything, because there's some people that have just never stopped playing this game, even despite the 10 average players. But it didn't take too long, and in just under 5 hours I had 100% completion, which just goes into the lack of depth in this game. And after dripping out and max gearing my character with all the currency I earned, my new biggest challenge in the game was just being able to play the game. I wasn't scared of the monsters were scared of me, and my biggest challenge was just trying to get people to stay to the end of the match so I could actually win. And it was a fun challenge just to see how fast I could just flatline a lobby. And obviously that's a bad experience for both parties involved, but the lack of a good matchmaking or MMR system was forcing people who couldn't even properly aim to play against someone who's top ranked in Gears of War and other third-person shooters. And although inherently the Resident Evil series is pretty casual, and this game probably was never meant to even be played competitively, especially since there's upgrades that gave you bonus damage or bonus aiming or bonus HP, some of which I would even go as far to say were pay to win. Plus the movement in combat just felt so clunky, and even as somebody that got eventually used to it, it still felt like I was walking through mud the entire time, which was no fun. And so what can we expect for the future? Will we ever see something like Reverse again or any other multiplayer titles? Well, the answer is maybe. I think it's inevitable that future games will have survival modes and other bonus modes that we typically see in the mainstream games, but at the same time, Resident Evil Revelations 2, the last mainstream game with a focus on multiplayer, came out 10 years ago and has been on a cliffhanger for the last 10 years. And after Outbreak, the devs decided that what made Resident Evil scary was its lack of multiplayer, which I agree with. Multiplayer horror games are typically less scary than single-player horror games. But hopefully Resident Evil can keep moving forward past this, learn from its errors, and continue making great games in both single-player and multiplayer formats. But only time will tell, and thank you so much for watching. Oh, and that's the end.